Hey guys, welcome back to Buzzer2Buzzer.
Tom Brady's the GOAT.
One thing that's not debatable is that Michael Jordan is the best basketball player of all time.
Matthew Stafford is the most underrated quarterback in the NFL.
Why is LeBron James the greatest NBA player to play the game? He's LeBron James.
All right, guys, so we just heard the breaking news that the Detroit Lions and the Los Angeles Rams have been involved in a trade in which the Lions are sending over their franchise quarterback who has, elevated them to the position they're at right now, Matthew Stafford, going to the Rams, and the Rams are sending back Jared Goff, a Super Bowl quarterback, along with 2 first-round picks and a 3rd-round pick. Now, guys, Matthew Stafford is headed into a loaded NFC West. I know Abi's scared out of his pants right now. I'm going to get started off with Abi. How are you coping right now?
As a Seahawks fan, I am very scared right now. The Rams, they were a great team last year, obviously. We lost to them in the playoffs, and they made it far. They're one of the best defenses in the league. And the position that they didn't have the position that they weren't good at was the QB. That's what they were missing. That was a missing piece for them. Now they have Matthew Stafford. To quote Harsh, Matthew Stafford is like the most underrated quarterback in the league. And this is just crazy. A lot of people blame his lack of success due to the Lions. Now I think that with Sean McVay and the Rams, I think that coaching staff is amazing. And I really think that the Rams are going to be the NFC contenders next year. So I'm absolutely terrified as a Seahawks fan once again.
I think this is going to be a huge, it's going to be a huge turning point in Matthew Stafford's career. Obviously being stuck in the garbage that is Detroit, as going from top down, it was never good for him. He never, except Calvin Johnson, nothing good ever happened to him. So, I really believe that Sean McVay is going to utilize Matthew Stafford to the best of his ability. And I really think that the Rams are going to be a top contender in the NFC next year.
I think this has heavy implications for the NFC West. We could see teams like the Seahawks getting 4th or 3rd, or even the Cardinals getting 4th or 3rd, missing the playoffs. We saw with this 49ers team, and they had loads of injuries, and they had a few mistakes on their team, and they're going to work that out this offseason. They're in play for Deshaun Watson right now. If Deshaun Watson somehow manages to find his way to San Francisco, this division might as well be seeds 1 through 4 at that point. We have seen this division almost put 3 teams in the playoffs this year if it hadn't been for the Rams and Cardinals playing each other and the Bears somehow making the playoffs. But besides that, this is going to make the NFC West really fun to watch. And it's going to be really sad to see one of those teams miss the playoffs.
All right, firstly, Harsh, if Deshaun Watson finds the way over the 49ers as Bears fan, that's just going to be a heartbreak. We experienced way too many of those. But talking about Matthew Stafford going to the Rams, Abi, you were laughing right there, but you're laughing because you're scared right now. You know what happened this past season. Russell Wilson, and when we saw those matchups between the Seahawks and the Rams there twice, those 2 matchups, you know that you were scared, holding on to your fingernails when watching those games. The Rams were scary. They had arguably one of the best cornerbacks in the league, Jalen Ramsey, one of the best defenses led by Aaron Donald, and now adding a Hall of Fame quarterback for sure with Matthew Stafford. You better be scared. The Rams do have offensive weapons. Cooper Kupp. I'm looking at this connection, and I've been a big fan of DK Russell Wilson connection. But next season, the whole Seahawks, any Seahawks fans watching this, you guys got a lot to be feared for. All right, guys. So we've obviously discussed the fun side, that being Matthew Stafford heading over to the Rams. The NFC West already a competitive division, becoming even more competitive. Crazy to think about, but it's going to be something to watch. But let's talk about the other side. Jared Goff going over to the Detroit Lions now. What phase are the Lions in? Are they rebuilding? Are they going to try to acquire some other stars and get this team rolling with a Super Bowl berth quarterback? Our thoughts?
As a Bears fan, I'm extremely excited for Jared Goff to come to the Lions. I would love to play him twice a year. But I think as for the Lions, I think they try to run it 1 year with Jared Goff, maybe add a playmaker in the draft or via free agency. But I think they try to run it 1 year, especially since they have him. They might as well use him. And then I think next year or the year after, if they have a high enough pick, they might just get the best or second best quarterback in that draft.
It's definitely not the best short-term move for the Lions right now. Obviously, I think they're really kind of looking to rebuild in the future. They're losing Matthew Stafford, and they didn't even make the playoffs. And Jared Goff is way worse than Matthew Stafford as a quarterback. So definitely the NFC North won't be as competitive, I feel like, with the Lions. But I think that what Arden said, they try Jared Goff for a year, then maybe draft a QB in the next year draft.
Well, to begin with, I don't think the Lions have any impact on the competitiveness in the NFC North. They never have. But moving past that, Dan Campbell, we saw it at his press conference. He wants to bring a culture change to Detroit. He's going to rebuild this team up. And so I think this Jared Goff thing was just another moving piece in this contract. I don't think he was completely necessary, and I don't even know if Detroit wanted him. But to get this deal done, I'm guessing he had to move. I honestly see Detroit drafting a quarterback depending on the situation here. If Justin Fields falls to them to number 9, or if he's still available at 7 and available for them to draft up to, I could definitely see them pulling the trigger. Jared Goff could be here for a few games, holding the place, maybe developing someone like Justin Fields or Trey Lance. And then after that, I think they move on from Jared Goff after a year, maybe moves to a backup. They release him, and I think they're going to rebuild this team piece by piece.
Yeah, exactly. Are sort of bringing some flashbacks to that Mr. Trubisky and Nick Foles type of thing. I feel like it's like they had to do it. It's going to be a PR move for the first couple of games. We've seen Jared Goff go down with his fair share of injuries, whether it be the thumb. He was a 13-3, led the team to the Super Bowl, but we all know what happened in the Super Bowl. Actually, I still feel like Jared Goff's a good quarterback, but I feel like the Lions, like you said, Dan Campbell coming as a new fresh head coach, they got a new future, and they're going to start rebuilding. It's not going to be the phase where they're going to start contending. I mean, like you said, they weren't honestly contending in the NFC North anyways. The Bears are obviously there at the top, right? But honestly not, yeah. But let's see what happens. The Lions, they for sure have a future now, and if they use their piece correctly, they can for sure start building correctly. All right, guys, well, those are our thoughts between the Los Angeles Rams and the Detroit Lions making this first blockbuster trade up to the year 2021. As always, guys, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and comment down below your main takeaways from this huge trade. Love hearing what you guys got to say. Guys, take care. Catch you guys on our Super Bowl week starting on Monday. See you guys.
Thank you.